Police are stopping the standard way they enforce a no-knock warrant.
This comes after one of its officers shot and killed a man while executing a no-knock warrant 2 weeks ago. Our Bella Caracta joins us live in the studio with new numbers from OPD.
John Aaron, starting with some context, Omaha Police added oversight to its no-knock policies in 2021 following the killing of Breonna Taylor. Here's what we've learned so far from the numbers that we obtained. In the 3 years before Breonna Taylor was killed, SWAT executed 314 no-knock warrants. In the 3 years after they added oversight, the number dropped to 204 no-knock warrants. Since 2021, Omaha Police have executed 276 no-knock warrants, and for 136 of those, they used what they call standard entry. That's where they enter the home and search for the suspect. Now, in 140 cases, they used some other version of calling out the suspect. In the case of 37-year-old Cameron Ford, a couple weeks ago, officials say SWAT used standard entry. They explain this is used under heightened threat levels. However, as you mentioned, John and Aaron, the chief ordered standard entry to be halted.
Really, we want to look at what can we do to even avoid an officer-involved shooting in one of these situations. Are there other ways that we can still apprehend the worst of the worst, if you will, the most dangerous offenders without endangering ourselves and the offender?
So those numbers show about half of the Omaha Police's warrant service in recent years use standard entry. But until they review other possible safer tactics, officials say standard entry will be on pause. Live in the studio, Bella Caracta, 6 News.